Okay, to start this is a re-recording because the last time I forgot that my volume was a bit too loud, so I'll just reset everything. So, this video will have spoilers for Deltarune Chapter 5 and all of Deltarune, and my theory is essentially that chess theory is still relevant, but like just not in the way that we expect. And, oh wait, I forgot about the volume again. Let me just set that real quick. And so what I think is that chess theory, the pieces are still gonna play a part, and chess theory will still happen, just not in the way that most people think. And I think that, and this theory, it's not gonna be based on that much evidence. And so if you're looking for like really hard evidence, then I suggest you click off, as this is more fanfic. And so what I think is that the people tonight is kidnapping are going to be Gaster's chess pieces, and the Lightners are going to be our chess pieces. So in chess, there's two sides, black and white. I believe the player will get white as we seal fountains and emit a bright flashing light, and white makes the first move, and we made the first move by opening up the game. And then I believe Gaster will get black as he's the one who does like depth, he's associated with demons and all. And I'll start off, and in chess there's one king, one queen, two knights, two bishops, two rooks, and 8 pawns on each side. As for who I believe the piece will be, I'll start off with Gaster's as they're easier to pinpoint. I believe that Gaster's king is going to be Asgore due to the fact that he's the Flower King, him being the king in Undertale, and because he and Toriel were festival king and queen during the previous festivals. And by that logic, Toriel would be Gaster's queen as she is a queen in the Dark World. And the previous point about her and Asgore winning the festival couple things. I believe his two knights are going to be the Roaring Knight, as that's literally in their name, the Roaring Knight, and Undyne, as she has a knight outfit in the Dark World, and she also got kidnapped, which the knight tried to do with Toriel and did do the Asgore. She's also, the Undyne is also the captain of the Royal Guard in Undertale, which is essentially knights. And then for Gaster's two bishops, I believe they will be Alvin, as Alvin is hometown's priest/pastor. He runs the church, and the knight opened up a dark fountain in the church, which might have been to try and kidnap Alvin. Then Gaster's second bishop is likely going to be Caddy, the older one, because she gave the sermon, and when you interact with her family's door before going to the light world, going to Noelle's house in chapter 4, it says something about 3 codes which relates back to the shelter. Another possible candidate for bishop is Carol, but she might be the knight, so that's why I'm not too confident in her. As for Gaster's rooks, there are really only 5 candidates, being either 1, 2 stronger titans that have fully matured, Asriel and Burger Pants if Asriel comes back, and my personal candidates, Friend and Eram, or some other depth stuff. This is because, well, Eram, there isn't really any evidence for the rooks. It will just be cool to see them. Then for Gaster's pawns, it's likely just titans, as this is likely going to happen during the Roaring, which means that there will be a lot of titans roaming the place. As for our king, it's likely going to be Susie, as during the festival, Rudy said something along the lines of, maybe the festival will have 2 queens this time, which you can't normally have unless you do pawn promotion, which is when a pawn reaches the other side of the board and gets to promote to another piece. Or you start off with like a special mode that lets you have more than 1 queen. Susie's also the king, as she is more masculine than Noelle, and by that logic, Noelle will be queen as she's more feminine, and Rudy, and the previous statement of Rudy saying perhaps 2 queens this time. Our 2 knights are going to be Chris, as they have a knight outfit in the Dark World, and they open 2 fountains that we know of, being Flower King and TV World. Then our other knight on the normal route will be Birdly. This is because Birdly has a somewhat knight outfit and describes himself as Queen's Knight in glow-in-the-dark armor. Our 2 bishops will be 3 characters, being Rousey, as he believes in the prophecy, he also tells us it, and is trying to defy it, pretty sure. And our 2nd bishop will be Caddy and Jockington. This is because Jockington goes to church in place of Caddy and is mentioned in the prophecy, and Caddy, the younger one, is goth and summoning demons with Chris, but she ran away, and she just has like an overall wizard vibe. And then for our 2 our 2 rooks, it's likely going to be the last 2 classmates besides Tammy, Snowy and Monster Team. The evidence for them being rooks is really nothing, except the fact that Monster Team kinda looks like a tower, and that's how rooks look like in chess. So like maybe that our pawns are likely just going to be random lighters. On the rear mount, only 3 pieces really change, those being our 2 knights and king. On the rear mount, Chris will likely become our king. This is because Susie can't really get close to Noelle on the rear round, and because, oh yeah, oh my god, okay. So on the rear dot, our 2 knights will also change because we can't really use Birdley's frozen corpse as a chess piece. So I believe instead on the rear dot, our 2nd knight will be QC. This is not really based on any evidence besides the fact that QC appears on Gaster's name list, and Susie will be our knight because she can't really fit anywhere else, and she kinda has to fit in there because she's one of the 3 heroes. And that's basically it for this theory. I know it wasn't really based on evidence, this is more of a fanfic and such, but it would still be cool to see this happen. And like I only really have like 1 more theory on who the knight is, but I'll release it in a later video. So bye bye for now.